give y'all a recipe that is everything but demure, all right? I'm finna show y'all how to make chitlins. And before you bastards get down in the comments section, start losing your mind, I understand that everybody don't eat chitlins. Hell, I don't even eat them. But I'm finna show y'all how to make them because I'm getting sick and tired of people asking me how to properly clean them and how to cook them. So I'm finna show y'all today. So if you're one of those people that like chitlins and you get down with the swine, today is your day. Rule number one, if you're eating chitlins from somebody that tells you that it only took them about an hour and a half from beginning to end to clean and cook them, don't eat them. They're trying to kill you because ain't nowhere in the hell you can clean chitlins that damn quick. Rule number two, I don't give a damn if you're getting them previously frozen or if you're getting them out of the bucket. I don't care if it says that they've been double or triple washed. You still need to clean them. All right, now let me give you a rundown of the ingredients. You're going to need accent, crushed red pepper flakes, garlic powder, onion powder, seasonal salt. If you can find the salt-free Creole seasoning, use it. Maggi chicken bouillon cubes, apple cider vinegar, white vinegar, 2 large green bell pepper, 4 to 5 large stalks of celery, 4 large russet potatoes, 1 large sweet Vidalia onion, 2 large red bell peppers. I'm working with 10 pounds of pork chitlins, 10 pounds, smoked pork neck bones, and 2 containers of unsalted chicken broth. Unsalted, okay? You see that? You see that? You see that? You see that? Don't ask me for the damn ingredient list. Now, come on. All right, now, first things first. You guys know how I feel about prepping stuff. It just makes cooking a lot easier. I've gone on ahead and I've prepped up my 2 large red bell pepper, my 2 large green bell pepper. I've chopped down 4 large stalks of celery and my 1 large sweet onion. You want to make sure that you do not get rid of the tops of the green bell pepper, the onion, or the celery. This is going to come in handy. Now, because I have purchased my chitlins frozen, they are unthawing, so I'm going to cook them tomorrow. So now all of my prep work is already good to go. This can go in the refrigerator until it's time to cook tomorrow. This is the reason why you can't trust these packages when they say that they are already clean. You see that shit there? You see that? All of that has got to go. None of that belongs. See this? That is dirty and trifling. All right, first things first, get comfortable because you're going to be here for a long while. Get yourself a bowl that you can put all of the bad stuff in. Let me show you what you're going to do. Now, first things first, this is the chitlin. You have got to go in and carefully remove the membrane. This right here has got to go. That's trash. You do not eat that. You do not want to eat that. This is what you want to eat. This has got to go. So you have got to carefully go in, take your time, and carefully remove this. You are separating the membrane. That is the only way that it is going to be clean, and that is also the way to get rid of the damn smell. Okay. Also, understand that it does take a long time to clean these damn things, so make sure that you keep the water that you're putting the clean ones in iced cold so that you don't give nobody no damn food poisoning. But this is what the clean ones look like in the first round of cleaning. All right, y'all, this is the reason why it is important for you to clean your chitlins. Y'all looked at that bag and you see how it said clean 2-3 times? That's a damn lie. You have got to make sure that you go in and clean your chitlins. Do you see this right here? That's shit, okay? That's feces. You have got to clean this. Don't skip this step. If you do, you're going to end up in the damn hospital or meeting Jesus, one or the other. All right, y'all, so this is the exact same piece that I just showed y'all earlier. And as you can see, that's a complete difference. This is what it should look like once it's cleaned. I'm going to repeat this process to all of them, and then I'll come back in a few minutes. All right, so letting y'all know, I started cleaning these bad boys at 2:30 p.m. It is now 5:49 p.m. These are the clean chitlins. Look at how pretty and white they are. No brown, no fat, no none of that. That was just the first step in cleaning. Now, let's continue. You clean your kitchen as you go. That's how you don't have to worry about your house smelling. You got to clean as you go. I have my setup ready to go for tomorrow morning when I actually cook them. Today was just about the first part of the cleaning process because that takes the longest amount of time. But yeah, that's the first part of this video, which is the initial cleaning and then cleaning up after yourself. And then you ain't got to worry about no smell, honey. Alrighty, so in this pot, I'm going to be adding in my smoked pork bones. I'm going to cover this up fully with water, and then I'm going to place the lid on that and allow that to come up to a steady simmer for roughly about 1.5 hours. You want to go on ahead and get that process started because you want to extract a lot of the flavor from out of those bones. Now let's focus on phase 2 of cleaning the chitlins. I'm going to be going in with a hefty amount of coarse kosher salt. I'm also going to be going in with a splash of white vinegar, as well as about a tablespoon or so of baking soda. Now, the reason why you want to use the coarse kosher salt, that's going to work as an abrasive. The bigger granules are going to scratch off any leftover debris that might be trying to cling onto the chitlin itself. I'm going to repeat that process twice, each time rinsing it in between. The second time that I do it, I'm only going to use vinegar and water, not using the salt, okay? So take your time with this, get it nice and clean. You want that water to not necessarily run completely clear, because that's never going to happen, but you don't want to be seeing no granules of nothing floating in that water, all right? Alrighty, so now that I have these officially cleaned, I'm going to put in a separate pot. I'm going to place my chitlins in the bottom of this pot. I'm going to cover them up with water. And remember, I told you to not throw away the tops of the peppers, the onions, and the celery. You're going to also throw that in there. This right now is not about seasoning. What we're doing right now is we are going to be boiling off any impurities, and we're also going to be making sure that we extract a lot of the fat and oils. So you want to cover this up with oil. Now, the key to making sure that you eliminate a lot of the scent is add yourself in half of one of those potatoes. So again, cover this bad boy up with water, and then we're going to place the lid on this and allow that to boil for 1 hour. All right, 1 hour. And then once you have the top on, take the other half of that potato, put it right on the top. Again, this helps soak up any scent. Alrighty guys, so these have been boiling now for a little over an hour. So now you are going to pour this off into a strainer, discard the peppers, the onion, the celery, throw all of that away, as well as the potato, and you're going to rinse it under warm water. And I wanted to make sure that I pointed out before I pour this off, you guys see that thick layer of oil? That's the reason why it is important to make sure that you parboil these things before you actually cook them for real, for real. You do not want all of that in the food. So that's why you've got to make sure that you boil them first for an hour and then rinse them off completely. All right, y'all. So in the pot that has the pork bones in it, you're going to add in half of the onions, half of the celery, half of the red bell pepper, and half of the green bell pepper. You can add in the rest in the last 30 minutes of the cooking, so that way you'll have some sort of texture. You don't want it to just be all soft. So I like to add in half of it now. And one of the biggest reasons why people don't like making chitlins, you see how it took me almost 3.5 hours to clean them? Look at how much I actually have left. That was 10 pounds, and this is all that I have. So now I'm going to add those directly to the pot, and then I'm going to cover this up with the unsalted chicken broth. And then we're going to go on ahead and add in our spices as well. Now, as far as the seasonings are concerned, I cannot give you exact measurements on this because all chitlins ain't made equal, honey. So you got to just taste it as you go. That was garlic powder. This is the onion powder. The only thing that you need to be mindful of, I would say, would be the salt, because remember, you are working with those the smoked pork bones. So you can always add salt to dishes, but you can't take it away. So just be mindful of how much salt you're adding to begin with. The same thing applies with the Creole seasoning. That was just the seasonal salt that I added. This is the Creole seasoning. If you can find the Tony Chachere's, the salt-free, by all means use it. And as far as the spice level, I like to add in crushed red pepper flakes. I also add hot sauce, but I do that towards the end. You're going to add in a splash of the apple cider vinegar. And then I also like to add in a little bit of the herbs de Provence. If you don't have this, you can just add in rosemary and a little bit of thyme. Got that in there. And then, of course, a few dashes of the accent. Give all of this a mix, put the lid back on it, and now this is going to cook low and slow for about 3 hours. Also, make sure that you place back into this pot another half of a potato. Once again, that is going to help make sure that you keep the scent down. You are not going to be eating the potato that is in there. That is the only purpose for that potato is to soak up the smell. So I'm going to go on ahead and put that in there now. Before I add the potato in, I'm just going to give this a good mix. Now, I'm going to place this potato directly inside, place the lid on this, and allow this to go. And I almost forgot. Make sure you add in just one of the large Maggi chicken bouillon cubes. If you only have the small ones, use two. But because I have the large ones, I'm only going to be using one. And I know it might look silly, but I'm telling you, placing these potatoes on top of the pot and having one on the stove, you cannot smell chitlins in my house. And I'm not kidding. Alrighty, you guys. So we have about an hour and a half left on the timer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carefully remove our smoked pork neck bones here. I'm going to take these out. I'm going to extract as much of the meat off of it as possible, shred it up and place it back in. You can tell that these are ready because you can see the bone is fully exposed. Also, while you guys are mixing this up, be sure to be careful around the potato. You do not want that potato to break. Remember, this potato that's in here currently is not for you to consume. We're going to throw that away. We'll be adding in fresh potatoes later on in the last 30 minutes that will remain in the pot. So for now, take out your smoked pork bones, shred off the meat, and then add the meat back to the pot. And if you cooked it right, honestly, the meat will just fall right off the bones. You'll have no problems whatsoever. It'll just fall right off. And now all of this beautiful meat can be added directly back into the pot, just like so, and go on ahead and give this a nice mix. Trying to tell y'all, this is some old school Southern cooking right here. I don't even eat chitlins, and this looks good. Good Lord. Also around this time, you can go in and taste the broth now that it's been cooking for quite some time to see if you want to add in any additional seasonings. All right, y'all, we are in the last 30 minutes of our timer. So now I'm going to carefully remove this potato out of the pot. This potato has served its purpose, so we can go on ahead and take that out. Give this a good mix. Everything is looking beautiful. And like I said, in the last 30 minutes, we're now going to go on ahead and add in those 2 large russet potatoes. We're going to add that in. And we're also going to add in the remaining veggies. Now, you can add in as much or as little as you would like. I'm probably going to add in a few handfuls of both. And this will just give it more texture. So once again, so that you're not just eating, you know, you don't want everything to be soft. So I've added in about 3 additional handfuls. And I have about that much left over, which I can freeze and use for a different recipe. So now just give this a good old mix. Place the lid back on it. And then it'll be done in 30 minutes time. I'll see y'all then. Alrighty, you guys, I've gone in, adjusted the seasonings, added in some parsley, and now I'm gonna add just a little dollop of butter. Give this one final mix around, and then this is good to go. You can serve these over rice. You can eat it with collard greens, you know, potato salad, cornbread. You can eat it as a side dish. You can eat it by itself. It's whatever you want, honey. And that's how I make old school chitlins with smoked pork neck bones. And there you have it, folks. That is how I prepare my chitlins. I hope you all appreciate this video. If you are one that enjoys chitlins, I hope you try out this recipe this holiday season. There's a lot of labor and love in this one bowl here. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Baby, it is humid. It is hot. I am going to try a piece of a chitlin. I have my rice, everything in here. There is chitlin in here. I cannot believe that I'm about to eat this. I'm only eating it because I made it. So here we go. That's good. I didn't know what I thought it was going to taste like. It's good. I won't be eating any more of it, but it's very good. It's very seasoned. It's soft. It's not chewy. It doesn't taste like rubber bands. You can taste the meat, the smokiness from the pork. This is good. It's just not something that I would consume a lot of, but period.